Hello everybody, I'm Overhaul, and this is my lovely assistant Crystal. Hi? Yes, now, today we are gonna be reviewing Chapter 3 in Volume 6 of Rwby. I think you will go in a different order. Plus, what happened to the Chapter 2? There are some problems in the reality, so I wasn't able to come and make it. What problems? Let's just say next time I'm gonna allow a person that can devour a planet next to your house. Expect them to start devouring a planet. There's a planet? I guess it could be counted. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, but who cares? By the way, there really is only one thing that actually needs to be brought from the previous chapter. So, yeah, there's nothing to focus on. Alright. Now, let's get on with this review, Crystal. Alright. Now, let's begin this review by addressing in Volume 2, in this Chapter 2, the Cinder side plot. This doesn't appear in the actual chapter, but in the previous chapter it appears, but I want to give it my comments. So, in the previous chapter, we see Cinder coming out of the hole, falling off the mountain, and sort of the kinda nearly dying. Well, we can assume it was 3 weeks. Or sometimes around that. It seems to be suggested that it's later, but I'm pretty sure she would die if she was frozen solid in a freezing water for 3 weeks. Although, to be fair, it's possible that that's why her main powers are weakened, because the main powers were keeping her alive. Yeah, who really cares, Crystal? So yeah, after she wakes up, she crawls out of the mountain by breaking the mountain, which is kind of showing off how powerful her grandmom is. I don't think she uses grandmom. It's either that or saying that her based arm is already strong enough to break to make a crack in the mountain where she's extremely weakened. Let's not focus on that. Then, while she's outside, she comes across an innocent woman that first tries to help her because this is just what looks like a normal woman who's extremely beaten and all that. But as soon as she's growing up, she's like, "What are you?" And being freaked out because I don't know, for some reason you people find people with grim arm weird. I find them as friends. And yeah, after that, find out she kills the bitch. Well, not the bitch, the innocent woman. I'm gonna shock there aren't any images on Deviant of Cinder just knocking the woman out and stripping her, having her tied up. I mean, I'm kinda shocked there isn't a thing like that. I think that's because the woman is pretty meaningless, so maybe that's why there's nothing like that. Also, why are we discussing your fetish in this review? Oh, come on! Someone will need to bring this whole thing up. Plus, I am wondering how she killed her. Did she burn her hand off? Because those clothes look mighty fine, which suggests she didn't go strictly through. I mean, unless if she damaged her hand severely or something. Probably. So yeah, after she takes her clothes off, we get the general timeline, and we see wanted posters for her Mercury, Emerald, and Hazel. I think there was another one, but I don't think it was specifically showing if it was Raven or Tyrion. I think it was Raven because I think there was 5 of them, but it's most likely going to be Raven. Plus, I think it's easier to get. Plus, I don't think people have pictures of Tyrion and Watts, so probably. Yeah, good point. So she sees a symbol of one bandit or bandits or thieves or whatever they're called, that bad element of Mistral, and she recognizes it, and that's the spiders. So she goes to this bar, and she immediately knows where the leader is. I guess she's already somewhat familiar with the underworld of Mistral, so she knows where automatically all the underworld brokers are. Which, to be fair, it's pretty easy to know who's the boss. Like, seriously, I think at some point, pretty much everyone who's just a member of a gang and who's in charge of everyone, just has a big, obvious middle seat in charge of everything. So yeah, Cinna goes there, and basically first they thought that they just want to throw her out, but then she first mind to see that she's there for business. So they have a talk. Also, the captain's name is Leo Miss Valentine. So yeah. So that does bring up the speculation if this Captain Leo Miss Malachite is actually the captors Milan and Milani. The Malachite sisters that were in the yellow trailer, their daughters, but it's probably just a coincidence with the naming thing. Or hell, maybe they forgot. I mean, there are some times where if creators don't bring them up for at least have them appear in some time, the people they will forget it's kind of forgetting. Like that's sort of an issue with My Hero Academia, because there has been so long since the whole traitor thing that it's like, oh, probably Higoshi forgot. Yeah, good point. So yeah, did they have a little conversation? Why are you taking the lead? I just thought if I'm here I should talk. Well, you're not. I do. So yeah, they have a little talk, and she shows the pictures of Rwby, Wise, Blake, and Yang, and Team Juniper, the alive ones. And she says, give us a week and we'll find out. Then one of her bodyguards brings up that they already found her. Also, there's a line where she says, you know what I did with spiders? She says, you killed them? No, she said, she'll make them work. She made them work for me. Which is supposed to be some kind of a character progressive thing. Like, it's so similar to like Tomura from My Hero Academia, where he's sort of growing alongside them. But to consider the fact that Cinna was already level 50, if you go by video games, and Rwby was level 30, it's kind of a weird leveling up thing. But who knows really. So yeah, yes. Cinna goes and waits for a week. I'm wondering how she'll do all that because, well, she kinda just grabbed whatever she could find to disguise herself and all that, so maybe she has enough manpowers to make herself a building or something, or maybe she'll just kill someone in a house and that's how she'll stay, who knows really. So yeah, anyways, she goes, and then the bodyguards mentioned that big guy came to ask about earlier. Now this suggests that before the Team Rwby went to Atlas, Hazel came and asked about the informations, since which mean that these wanted posters must be pretty new. And we also find out a reason why she lied to her and say that they'll wait for a little while is because for the money, which I think I'm assuming their money that they get is extremely high, so extremely high bounties. I mean, how much do wanted hunters want to spend to get them? So yeah, now we get to the Rwby thing. Now in chapter 2, the thing we see from them is just them saying like being really pissed off and Osprey very suspicious of him because there have been details he should tell them at this point. And also, while the conversation, the only thing really to note is the fact that it's revealed that Osprey was the one who was hiding it was the one that was the reason why people think Lionheart fought valiantly and died in the hands of Beacon, well, in the hands of Mistral fight, and not the betrayal because, well, to be fair, he's sort of getting used to people who he trusted extremely and betraying him. So yeah. In the meantime, Asuka takes control and say the name of the genie, which she's naked, about nipples. But I guess we're supposed to be some kind of a PG-13 thing, who really cares, and we go. And we get to finally to chapter 3. Now we get a big lore dump on us. So, we get the origin of Salem, which, alright. Salem in this origin seems to be, this backstory seems to be mostly just, well, how every time Salem was with somebody, she was lonely or something. Well, what do you mean? Well, first thing, her father had her locked up in a tower, which her fucker looks like that goblin slayer from Goblin Slayer. You know, you really should not bring people up unless if you know them. In watch the anime. Well, guess what? It was either that analogy or that knight guy who was fighting Chopper and Brook for filler in the One Piece anime. So yeah, he kind of looked like that. Or maybe Sauron. Just imagine a genetic armor type guy and all that. Then after Ozma, which is Ozma's real name, died, she went to the gods to resurrect him. Because, well, although he was a great warrior, it's kind of like the same thing. Yeah, let's give an example. Saitama. Yes, the guy might be a great fighter and he might be the strongest being, but if he gets severely sick, he cannot, heal himself. Or hell, let's grab in a fight. Yes, Saitama is more powerful than Overhaul from My Hero Academia, but, well, if Overhaul touches him and activates his powers, he can kill Saitama easily. It's kind of something like that. It's basically an instant lose, you cannot do anything. Alright, but I wonder why there wasn't any healing magic. It's possible that they don't know. It's not like we get super in deep with what kind of magics they have. Hell, from what we tell, it seems like it was 1,000 years since magic even existed before the current storyline. But yeah, we get back to the whole thing. So yeah, now we get to the whole thing. She first goes to the god of life, who says, yes, I can bring her to life, which we do see how easy it is. But he's like, everything needs to keep its course. Which, to be fair, this might be a weird thing, but, let's just discuss the gods in general, because the thing is basically, they fight, they make themselves look stupid and weak, then their armies come united, and then they escape, and all that. Let's just discuss them. If I'm honest, unlike some people who hate both of the gods, I kinda just hate the god of light and the god of destruction is good. Why is he good? Well, to be fair, that's because from what we got earlier in the story between the two gods, seemed to be sort of what we got from them. It's pretty clear that the god of darkness is alright, I guess if someone finally comes to, this person came to me is to heal them, and no one ever comes to me. I will blame that on your brother not getting rid of the Graham, or, having a different location, but I guess he decides to bring Ozma back because it's at least once, and, if she actually came to me, I may as well not stop her on the journey. Nah. And then later I'm assuming he is aware that his brother is right, because as soon as his brother says, she came to me first, she only came to you because I did not do it. He's like, alright, I'll fix my mistake. Which, if the gods were allowed to be a bit more emotional, I can kind of see and we get more of a upset voice, but who really cares? So, later we see the god of destruction also be with his brother telling the curse to Salem, although I'm kind of curious if that's really him. The voice might be the same, but I don't know, something about how he acted seemed more like a copy of his brother than anything else. So yeah, and the final thing we see from him is finding out the fact that he wiped out the entire humanity and he broke the moon. Which, okay, those some people have a problem with the whole, because the god of destruction did not move slightly out of the way to hit the moon to be a problem, but maybe that's because I'm not following the moon theories, why it was broken. But to be fair, I kind of find the whole breaking the moon logical. Like, no one in Remnet has so far been proven to be powerful enough to, well, have an attack fully powered through the atmosphere, able to break something. Only the gods are powerful enough to do that. And to be fair, that's kind of a predictable excuse. I mean, hell, it's not like biggest letdown to why something is the way it is. Stop us! The Last Jedi! Are these actual calves? I'm beginning to think these actually are calves. Just a different type of a calf. You're adorable. So yes, the God of Darkness pretty much acts like the way I kinda expect them to, and to be fair, it's not really, he doesn't really do anything horrible. I mean, the only thing horrible is done by the God of Light. I mean, he blames him for everything that happened. And he doesn't think, maybe I should do more to this person than just say, I will not resurrect that. You need to accept that. I mean, really, dude. I mean, if you're two supposed to be around equal power level, why wouldn't you think she would not come for you? And then he judges humanity because they work together to bring them down, because Salem basically spread out the rumor. Also, we find out that the reason how Salem lives for so long is because they cursed her with immortality. But yeah. So she brings a bunch of people together to fight against the gods, and he's like, he's like, this is horrible. How dare you team up to fight against us? Which I would be more like, well, to be fair, you are kind of divine judgments, and if someone can get something that they did not ask you to get handed to you, it's kind of logical. Plus, immortality is kind of a thing that a lot of people would want. I mean, I can imagine Anakin Skywalker kind of have been like, wait, you know what I mean? These people can give immortality. I didn't get immortality from these people. Padme, get ready. You and I are going to become immortals. Seriously, it's kind of a thing. Yes. Be quiet. So yeah, they basically go and we see a bit of the magic, which is, I mean, for me right now, kind of a generic magic thing. It's just a bunch of lights and all that. I think that's magic in most places, if I'm being totally honest. But they all strike, but we see how powerful they are. To God destruction, it's like, yup. Okay, God catches all the power. He's like, this is my gift to you. He breaks it and kills the entire thing. Granted, it seems like he went a bit over the top because there seem to be multiple kingdoms. It's just they were not working with them, but who cares really? Hell, another thing we can blame the God of Light for. I mean, he could have easily told, no, just kill these guys, not kill everybody else. And they leave, and he does the most epic moment with breaking the mood. Which, it's weird that I don't believe happens that often in these types of situations. Even though there are captains that can do that. So they leave. Now, in the meantime, Salem's a guy along. So she thinks, you know, if the God of Light's pool gave me immortality, which means that's pool still there? Was it destroyed? Does it no longer grant? There's nothing we need to question here. Because apparently the God of Destruction's pool is still there. Who knows really? Maybe it's kind of destroyed, I don't know. So she goes there, she jumps into it because her idea is, if the God of Light gives you immortality, the God of Darkness must kill. But unfortunately, either that did not kill, or that was never supposed to be, because it turned her into a sexy Grim. Is everything alright with you? She's real sexy, Grim sexy. Dude, bitch, she's completely white, her hair and her skin. She's naked, and her something about black eyes with bloody red lights coming out of them just make me aroused. I don't know why. But yeah, now we get to husband's origin, and he basically says, we'll grant you entire life until you can fix remnet, and you will bestow the gifts of these 4 gifts, and we also find out what the old relics look like, which was one theory was that the axe was actually the crown, but yeah, we find out it's a sword, a lamb, which we already know, the what was that called, the brush, and the crown. So yeah, except for the fact that the crown it's actually a crown and not an axe, which just kind of makes sense if you ask me. They're pretty standard, and Nick's like, I just want to be with Salem in Afterlife, and he's like, because of my brother, I absolutely had nothing to do with it. The horrible curse has been restored upon the remnet, and she's there. She's still alive, but it's just she's not a woman. You wanna fuck? Oh, who are you kidding? Everyone wants to fuck Salem. Would you stop being a pervert? Never! So yes, we go. So husband says, alright, I'll go. We find out that the dust fires that came up after the gods had their giant rampage. So there's a theory that came out of that, and that is that dust is actually the dead people from the previous generation. Which, considering there seems to be 1 billion of them, it kinda makes sense, although I'm pretty sure that would sort of start coming short at this point. Granted, I think it was a more recent development, but still I feel like it would become a bit less considering how many craters there are, unless if every single person is made of 1 billion dusts, but it's besides the point. And it's also possible that the furnaces are just incomplete humans, because it seems to be believable that the animals are actually just transform into humans, but I don't know, this probably is going to be revealed later. I mean, the gods actually are more fathers than humans because they have their horns, so yeah. Now, on his travels, he stumbles across the house where they, I believe, lived before he died, because he heard rumors about a witch. So he goes there and knocks the door, and we see the sexy Salem. Oh, yeah, that was good. Are you alright? I'll take over. You just try to calm yourself. Oh, sexy Salem. Oh. Alright, so after that meeting, they both recognize themselves somehow. I assume their love for each other before that whole fiasco is so great that now they can see each other. Of course, Salem came out pissed off extremely. Maybe people disturb her and she bothers them or something. It's unknown really, but they come out and they seem to have a pretty normal life. I mean, they rebuilt their house, which was a bit in ruins, and they have talks and all. Basically all the normal things. Then Salem says, I don't know what's the time skip we're talking about, but after a while, she says, also they reveal some things to each other, but it's unclear. But no, they do not reveal everything. All the, let's just say, less than friendly things that could destroy their love for each other. And she's said, we should be gods. I mean, we're the most powerful, which is a bit obviously. So they decide to, and they go to the nearest village or town, just the thing that's the nearest, and they easily destroy a Nevermore, and they fly over with the people, basically saying, we are the gods. Which some people say it's actually, people say, I heard someone say once that that's actually just could be believed to be a extremely powerful semblance, but semblances are more in the lines of superpowers or just boosts in combat, so I don't know where that comes from. So yeah, later they go and they build a kingdom from it, and they get a family. 4 daughters. Now, it's a bit unclear no, let's play this out there. So yeah, they go there and they basically up the king and queen. Now in the meantime they see how everything's going and they spread their belief across the world because you either serve them or you die. Which his husband's like, it's not right. So he says that to her, but she says, you said we want to unite the world, that's one way. But in the meantime, the oldest daughter, I believe, shows up and says that she can do magic because of the bloodline. Which, just so we can bring it up. The way how these children look like, they look way too normal. Like, it's unbelievably how normal they look like. I mean, they look completely normal, and yet the only thing that's weird about them is the fact they're magic. Granted, both of the parents are humans, but I can imagine that grim blood would have some kind of effects. Maybe not Beowulf looking kids, but I don't know, maybe, claws, maybe some horns. I mean, horns because, the gods sort of grant them their lives. Maybe something like that, but who knows, really. When they see that they can do magic, Sarah is very happy, and husband has decided it's time we talk about this because it's very likely she'll use their kids when they're powerful enough as weapons to win and all that. He reveals the complete story, and she's like, alright, I would prefer if you tell me now, but let's focus on it later. But let's just rule it over. It's unclear how this conversation ended because we see her just extending her arm and him just stepping back a bit. And then we got to husband trying to sneak his daughters out there, and one of them is like, mommy, me? And she's like super pissed off and they have a fight. It's a bit off screen, but we can assume it's very graphic. And then we cut to one of the youngest daughter's toy, which is burnt. Now to the four maidens, or the four daughters. It's unclear if they're, alive. It's unclear if they survived. Like, I can imagine they did survive. And there is someone in the world that can do magic, because that's the way where they can actually have it come back into play, or how? If considering the fact that both of the parents have immortality, they in some way, it's possible they had some kind of, one of them had a minor version, maybe the oldest because she could do magic, and it's unclear if the other four at the time they were leaving could do magic. It's possible they didn't. So they basically go away. Now we cut to the back and we see Asper on his knees and basically upset. Well, these two chapters were decent. There's nothing big to say about them because they're pretty much just a lore explaining some stuff, revealing some secrets, and just that. I like it. And what about you? I love it. Yeah. Well, I'm Crystal. I hope you like this video. And I hope to see all people next time. And he probably does too. Oh, Salem!